Hi, this is Jason from Jason's Jungle. I'm going to have a quick rant about pizzas, beans and gurus. You know how it is, you've had a hard day at work, you get home, you don't fancy cooking, you just decide you want to order in. So you call up a pizza place, order your pizza, pay for your pizza, then you tell them not to bother delivering it, but keep it in the kitchen and deliver it next year to whoever's in the house. You know, what do you mean you don't do it that way? If you don't do it that way, you're obviously not a proper gardening guru, because that's how gardening gurus must do it. Because if you read their advice on stuff, it sounds like that's how they do takeaways. Think about the bean. The bean works hard, it creates sugars out of thin air, and it then uses some of these hard worked sugars to feed the bacteria living in the nodules and the roots. And you look in newspapers, you look in magazines, you look in books, you hear on the radio, you see on TV, you look on websites, and they all say leave those roots in because those roots, those nodules, contain the nitrogen. And you've got to think, really, is that right? Because why spend all that sugar bribing these bacteria to lock in nitrogen and not use it? I mean, beans put on a lot of leaf, and leaf, the chlorophyll in the leaf, needs nitrogen. They also put on, hopefully, lots of beans. And beans are protein, and protein is packed full of nitrogen, so they need all that nitrogen. So why would they then leave all that nitrogen in the roots? You accept it because it's repeated so often by people whose advice you learn to respect. But when you change it away from beans to pizzas, it sounds silly, it sounds idiotic. So the advice that they contain loads of nitrogen, I think, is duff advice. It doesn't make sense. There's a few scientific studies coming out now that have actually decided to look into it and are saying, no, they don't. There might be a bit of nitrogen in the roots, but the same as roots for any other plant. They contain a bit of nitrogen. So there's nothing more than other plants, so there's no benefit from nitrogen from that. If you want the nitrogen, what you have to do is chop the plant down just as it starts to flower, dig it in or shred it and use it as a mulch. Then the extra nitrogen will go into the soil. But you don't get any beans that way. So really, it's not a bit of advice that is true. It's a well-known bit of advice. It's well repeated. It's been propagated so many times you would fill every single greenhouse in the UK. But it's just not true, I don't think. So that's me rant over with. Ta-ra.